has already been observed. My name is Demian Mukansi. I'm a PhD student at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. My area of specialization would be the impact of climate change on design of infrastructure. So on another platform, we can talk about things such as flooding in Umtata. We should talk about the fact that our people are living on floodplains, and they will tell you, we've been staying here for the past 8 years, but you have never been hit by a 100-year event. So the time it hits you, it's not a flood. You were just staying where the river must be when it comes 100 years from there. So these are conversations which we can have on another time. I think I was comforted by the fact that the Secretary General of COSAS comes from a STEM, because for some odd reason there was this notion that politics was not for us students from STEM, and I must note that we are here and we are staying comfortably so as I pass. I think we cannot speak about a new era without confronting the present challenges which we are facing, more so as the Global South. It thus is our belief as SASCO that the statement of peace and friendship within our Freedom Charter helps us to address this. The statement was so important because you can't have peace when those who are around you are not at peace. There's just one point that I am going to talk about in the short 3 minutes which I have. In my stay in KwaZulu-Natal, from the indigenous tank, there's a saying that says, "Ligotshwa lisemanzi." And in my stay there, I was further told that you don't translate isiZulu. The closest thing that we have is you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So I'm going to speak deliberately on that, drawing from the revolution in Latin America. So the pink tide was initially suppressed by the US empire, and we say suppressed because not that the people were not moving towards leftist movement, but whenever that happens, there will be a lot of assassination of leaders that come from a leftist movement. And this happened because the voice of progressive, even within the US, was reduced. But over the years, the decline as well as the weakening of that empire has been met with organic grassroots activism, left activism, leading to the election of leftist presidents throughout Latin America. And I think what I needed to talk to, or what I want to speak to, is essentially how this was achieved, and hopefully it can help us in moving forward. So the leftist organization resisted the US imperialism for so long, based on the ideological work that was done to conscientize the masses. The TG of Kasatu here earlier on said something that is very sad, to say the young people of this country are at a point where they say the Freedom Charter, enjoying as old people, it's not for us, it's something for the old people. But we in this room are aware that everyone says it's the basis in which our constitution was drafted. And everyone in the room says the constitution is a living document, which means we agree that it needs to be changed, which means we run a risk that 50 years from now, the people that will change it might not be conscious of the Freedom Charter that was used to draft it. So the benefits of conscientizing the masses are that they are able to stand with the decisions that are taken by government. The unfortunate part about South Africa is the reality that we face is our masses are unconscious in a manner that if maybe we were sanctioned to say, because WhatsApp is not our thing, there's no WhatsApp in this country, there's no Twitter, maybe for a week, I'm telling you, the masses will revolt. Whatever strategic decision you would have taken, that you are going to stand with Iran, they will be so angry with you. So, because to them, it is not a conscious thing. The decision that you would have taken to say this is our policy at an international level, it is not conscious to them. And you can't blame them. If we look at our own liberation, a lot of work was done. A lot of work was done ideological to ensure that everyone is conscious. That is why it was able to resist for so long. That is why it was able to take so many forms. If we were to look at our own SASCO, at some point when it is banned, it comes back with a new name because of consciousness. To say, our stand is not on the name, but our stand is on what we represent. So even if we change the name, what we stand for does not change. So in our way forward, as we are moving forward, it is important for us to speak directly to this issue of ensuring that we conscientize our masses. Secondly, we are able to stand with other countries even when they face external pressures from imperial forces. That's why you would find that countries such as Venezuela, Ecuador, they were able to stand with Iran despite the trade sanctions, because they have an understanding that birds of the same feather flock together. So the question that we should ask ourselves in this room is, what will be the posture of Africa when Burkina Faso faces sanctions? Do you think Africans will stand with it? I doubt. Mainly because we are not conscious. So if we need to move forward, we must understand that the next phase of the liberation is the liberation of the mindset. Every ordinary South African will tell you peace, peace. But an ordinary South African will not tell you economic liberation. An ordinary South African will tell you, you must finish varsity and you must go and work. An ordinary South African will not tell you economic emancipation, create jobs. And this is as a result of the work that we still need to do to ensure that we conscientize. And that is why as SASCO, we are calling for transformation of the curriculum through the student charter. And we could not use this platform not to speak about issues such as the student charter, where we are saying it is unfortunate that the minister will come to UKZN and say registration must be extended by 2 weeks